Welcome to our LinkedIn Live. Today I'm speaking about how criminality may impact your ability to enter Canada or the United States. I have to say, it's very common that people may have something in their past that affects their ability to travel to Canada or the United States, and sometimes it comes up when they least expect it. And you need to know in advance if this is going to cause you a problem so you can deal with it in advance. Whether it's a DUI or whether it is a marijuana charge from when you were 19 years old. In the past, people weren't really being flagged for these at the entry as much as possible. But now, because of the shared digital information between Canada and the United States, and the police forces and the border officials, more and more information is coming up that is affecting people's ability to travel. So I wanted to talk to you about this today so that you understand what's at risk if you don't take care of a former criminality. So let's talk first about Canada. Many times people think that, oh, I've had a pardon from my DUI or my assault or whatever, from when I was 21 years old, and now I'm 45, and it shouldn't affect me in terms of going to the US for business, um, or pleasure. We're going to go to the family to Disneyland. You need to know that a pardon does not take away the fact that you still may be inadmissible. A Canadian pardon is not recognized by US immigration. So all those people selling you pardons, that's great for Canada, but it's not great for crossing into the United States. So you need to know that you're going to need more if you're determined to be inadmissible. The US is very, flexible when it comes to DUIs. They're treating them now as kind of driving offenses, road offenses. So that may not be a problem, especially if it's just one that was a long time ago. But if it was a marijuana or drug conviction or something like that from back in the day, they definitely take that even more seriously. So if you have a criminal record, if you've been charged, convicted, or even just charged and it's still outstanding, it hasn't been dealt with, you may be inadmissible to the United States. So we always recommend that our clients first get an RCMP certificate and a local police certificate to see what's on your record. You need to know, because what's there is what US immigration is also going to have access to, and you need to be prepared. If you want to go to the States and you know you have criminality, maybe you have two or three things from 10, 15 years ago, you will need a US visa waiver application to be submitted on your behalf. That process takes about 3 to 6 months to get. So it's not something quick that happens at the port of entry. And once you've received it, you may get it for 1 year, up to 5 years. However, it's constant. You will need to renew it forever. It does not go away. And that truly is the problem with immigration, on the US side when it comes to criminality. It's something that does not go away. You will have to deal with this indefinitely. The other thing that people don't realize sometimes is even if they've just been charged, immediately they could be inadmissible to the US. So we had a file recently where somebody had been charged with a sexual assault. It was unproven, hadn't gone anywhere yet, no court action yet had taken place, and he had to go for business travel. Immediately I said, I don't think you're going to make it. He went to the airport. They could see already the charge on the system because they share information with the police stations as well. And because he has something that is out there as a charge, he was deemed inadmissible and he could not travel for business and had to explain to his employer that he somehow, for whatever other reason than what was the real reason, he could not travel to the States for business any longer until this was cleared up. So on the US, heading to the US side, the visa waiver is what is required for you to be able to travel. And once you know that, for instance, you have um, criminality and you know that you're only going for tourism or business meetings, you apply for the type of visa waiver that's in line with what you're looking for, the B1 or the B2, business visitor, or for personal reasons, so you can go on vacation. If you're going to be working in the States and you want to get a work permit, like a treaty NAFTA engineer work permit or an L1 work permit, you need to apply for a visa waiver for the type of work permit you need because they're tied to that status. So it's not an easy, simple thing. You want to make sure you're doing it right, because if you just get a visa waiver application approved for B1 and you need a TN, that's not going to work. You have to get a whole new one again. So it's very important to seek counsel to make sure you're doing the right thing. Now let's talk about moving to Canada or coming to Canada if you're an American that has criminality. For us in Canada, DUIs and other things are treated very seriously. And again, they can make you inadmissible. The difference with Canada is we can look and have deemed rehabilitation options if you have one thing that is minor, that is maybe 5 to 10 years has passed. The officer can make a determination if they're fully satisfied that you've given them everything and they have all the information. They may let you in so you can go to that client conference, and it'll be short-term temporary resident permit. If you're going on an Alaskan cruise and you have to go through Canada, you need to think about getting a temporary resident permit well in advance, or you may have trouble since you're going through Canada to get to Alaska and you have to go through Canadian immigration. Another thing that makes the Canadian criminality issue different is ours can go away. We have something called rehabilitation. Criminal rehabilitation means if enough time has passed, like 10 years or more, and depending on the severity of the charges and the conviction and the probation and all of that has ended and time has passed, you have the ability to apply for full criminal rehabilitation, which means it goes away forever. That is something that makes it very different than the US, where it feels like it's a bit of a money grab. They just keep making you do the visa waivers over and over and over. So those are the main differences as to how Canada and the US treat criminality. And you need to know. Sometimes people think, oh, I've traveled no problem for 20 years. And I can tell you, there are times when people get stopped for something that happened 30 years ago because now it's on the system. Now they can see it when they scan your passport, and that immediately changes everything. We had a grandmother who had place in Phoenix. She was going every winter for years and years and years. And then somehow this one time, something popped up that had happened to her 25, 28 years ago. She could not go down for that winter season to Phoenix, and she had to get a full visa waiver. We were able to get it for her for 5 years, but it took 6 months, and she the entire winter season. So this is the kind of thing that's happening more and more. So if you want to discuss the possibilities of perhaps thinking you might be inadmissible because of criminality in the past, please, please contact us at Ackah Business Immigration Law. Let us help you make sure you need a visa waiver or a temporary resident permit before you apply for it. And then let us help you get it done so that you're not embarrassed and stuck at the border or have problems for work or for family reasons when you need to travel. We look forward to helping you. I hope this has been informative. Take good care. Bye-bye.